In Barcelona, the European Poker Tour reached a milestone.
To have the 100th be such an amazingly big field, it's something you look back at and go, wow.
And now the EPT moves on to its next 100 in Europe's premier poker city.
EPT 101.
The new century of EPT.
In London, my hometown.
London, baby.
It's all kicking off.
That's brilliant.
Welcome to London, a city that's pretty much become the poker capital of Europe. And there's always an atmosphere of excitement here when the EPT comes to town.
And it's bigger than last year, innit? We are 675 strong in this year's main event with players from all over Europe and plenty repping old Union Jack. They are looking for their piece of the £2.6 million prize pie. A savory pie. Come on, this is London.
Make mine pork. I'm glad you mentioned the locals, Joe, because this country has a thriving poker scene, and there are plenty of UK legends and up-and-coming Brits playing on day two.
So sit back with a cup of Rosie Lee. There's a poker on the telly.
We're still in the early stages of this £4,000 buy-in event. 370 players remain. And headlining the feature table is the Queen of Poker, Victoria Coren-Mitchell. She's playing on home soil for the first time since becoming the first two-time champion on the PokerStars.com EPT.
This is my hometown. I've only had to travel 12 minutes from my house, and some people have come from a very long way away, so I must have an advantage over lots of them because of that.
Plus, we have a secondary feature table they're already calling the Table of Doom, featuring an EPT final table regular, two former EPT champions, the all-time European money leader, and a team pro with a WSOP bracelet.
It's a tough table. All guys you know is all guys you've seen before doing well. With guys like that you know, they just play very well.
Great to be back in London. For the second year running, we're at the Grand Connaught Rooms, hosted by the Hippodrome Casino. And Joe, the Grand Hall is a veritable who's who of poker.
I cannot believe how many big names are here. Team Pro in the house. Dominic Panka, one of the players who traveled longer than 12 minutes to get here. He's from Poland.
We're all Norwegians today.
I'm in. Call me Thor. Thor Thorson. Elke did get here in 12 minutes. His home planet is exactly 12 light minutes from Earth.
Since we last saw him in Barcelona, Dan Coleman's won 2 more major titles. And you'll be able to put yourself in the minds of some of these players by downloading our Poker Play Along app. Throughout the show, you'll find yourself facing players on our 2 main tables. Now, the symbol at the top of the screen lets you know when the action's on you. We'll be starting with the first hand at our main feature table. Unfortunately, you won't be able to play against Liv Boeree in this show. And at the moment, you won't be able to play against Victoria Coren-Mitchell either, as she hasn't arrived yet.
Well, here's what the feature table's gonna look like when she gets here.
Yes, she'll eventually be sharing the table with the EPT6 Grand Final champion Nicola Schwiti and a couple of fellow Brits, Andrew Hume and Asif Raja. Well, all rise, the Queen of Poker is in the house.
Nah, turns out she would have been here on time, but someone was standing on the left side of the escalator.
Okay, here we go. Seconds out. Day 2. Blinds 400, 800 with a 100 ante.
Now's when the real poker starts.
And sadly, Vicky not in her chair for the first hand of the day. Action folded around to Michael Jean. He's got King 10 suited.
From Lebanon, EPT 8 Country of the Year. One of the good ones.
It's a raise to 2,200. Oh, Sean Connery's at the table. He passes. Ace Jack for Nicola Schwiti.
Schwiti Bird.
Another Lebanese player, a Lebanese EPT champ. He re-raises a 3-bet to 5,100.
It's a good 3-bet if he thinks John's a weak player who will call a lot.
Jens Obain folds pocket fours. I don't see Andrew Hume folding.
12,000.
He 4-bets with ace-king.
Not much shot Jean calls now. Leva not gonna do it.
He passes.
And with Hume's stack size, this is usually gonna be an all-in or a fold. Ace-jack doesn't flop super well.
Schwiti elects to call and play the flop in position. And that flop is ace-high, top pair for both players. Hume's kicker obviously gives him the advantage. And he will continue for 10,500. So what does Schwiti do now?
Well, if you raise, you're rarely getting called by worse. It's probably better to just call and let Hume maybe jam the turn with a worse hand.
Schwiti going for blue chips. He raises enough to put Hume all in.
Cool.
That's a call. Hume is presented with the red triangle of death, but he's an 84% favorite here.
And Schwiti likes this about as much as when people confuse him for Bryn Kenny.
Hume just has to fade a jack to double up and survive. Oh, but there's a jack on the turn.
Nothing humorous about that at all.
He's down to 5%. He needs a king to survive. It's a 3. Hume is out. And as one player leaves, another arrives.
Morning, morning. Which is my seat? 7, that one?
The champ is here. The champ is here.
I'm slightly confused. Okay, is somebody out already? Is that what's happened?
Out now, yeah.
Ah, it all makes sense. I was thinking, why is there an empty seat? Hi, Jared, how are you? Oh, right.
Well, Nicola Schwiti is now the chip leader. Other notable names with big stacks include Elke and Johnny Lodden, while Theo Jorgensen and Jake Cody are both above average. And Cody's in a hand here. He's gone to the flop against Andre Santos from Portugal. Santos checks.
Jake Cody is a seriously fun dude to go out with, especially in London. Unless his girlfriend Alex is watching, in which case, he is a total snooze.
Jake bets 2,000 on this queen-high flop. Quick call from Santos. Turn card to 5. The board gets straightier.
What once was dry now is wet.
Santos bets 4,500. And Jake raises to 12,400.
Jake could be doing this with a really wide range of hands.
Santos folds. And Jake chips up to over 80K. Well, let's head over to our secondary feature table now. Sam Trickett's on the button, facing an early position raise. Christopher Swaminathan opened under the gun +1 with ace-king.
Sam's got a fun hand to see a flop with in position.
He calls. Theo Jorgensen folds the small blind. Benny Spindler in the big blind. 10-6 of clubs. He calls as well.
He's short, but pot odds.
Top 2 for Trickett. Straight flush draw for Spindler. He won this tournament 3 years ago. Checks the action to the pre-flop aggressor, who also checks.
Great spot for Trickett to take over the betting lead.
Sam, that's 3,200.
Benny's got a big draw and he's short.
He just calls.
Somewhat surprising he didn't move in.
Swaminathan folds. So we're going heads up to the turn. Here's the 3 of clubs. Spindler gets there. He checks a second time. Trickett checks behind. And that 7 on the river means we have a straighty-flushy paired board. Spindler goes for value, 8,000. Decision time.
Nowadays, it's really hard to get paid in these spots. Everyone's too good. To get paid on a flush, it's like you gotta bet it before you even have it. I think Sam is good enough to get away from this plenty.
Sam does fold. Spindler chips up to 35k.
Beat Sam Trickett in the hand. That's one thing off Spindler's list.
At the main feature table, action is on Villa Harvisto.
A la Visto, baby. I seriously couldn't even wait until he goes bust for that one. That's how excited I was to say it.
Ace 4 of diamonds, and he raises from under the gun +1 to 1600. Folded around to Obain. He's out.
What? Who raised? Hello, you. Excellent. Have you been doing that a lot?
First time.
This is the first time? Okay, I'll bear that in mind. In that case, I will just call. How much is it? 16 total.
Just call's probably the move here, regardless of how often he's been raising.
Asif Raja with Queen 9 in the big blind. And that looks like a re-raise.
All right, 16 it is. Sorry, I thought it was too much.
Ah, I think he meant to call.
Whoops.
Thought it was 16 in it.
Did they all go in one go? Was it one?
I've put one more in there.
It's going to go as a minimum 3-bet to 3,100.
Now, I might be afraid that moves some kind of angle, but Ace-4 is actually the perfect hand to 4-bet.
Harvisto does re-raise.
This is an unfortunate state of affairs, isn't it? You seem like far too nice a guy to have done that deliberately, so I'm going to assume that was an honest mistake.
She might work this out.
They just don't cover this in the books, this situation.
If she thinks Havisto's doing what he's doing, she should jam.
All right, I guess I'll just call 7 something.
Vicky calls. Raja folds, heads up to the flop.
What a surprisingly large pot we find ourselves in.
7! Sorry, Barcelona flashback.
Harvisto flops the nut flush draw. Vicky's still ahead.
Check.
No continuation bet from the Finn.
No, you gotta bet there. Against Vicky's range, he's basically betting for value. Look at his equity. Or what it was.
She's now a 71% favorite and bets 15,000.
Well, he can't fold and he can't rep strong now, so basically he's gotta call.
That's what he does. The river card is the 5 of hearts. Vicky's got a lock on this.
Pretty awesome run out for 7s.
Action goes check, check.
Give me the money.
Yeah, I would not show that hand. If you could somehow go back and hide it from the cameras too, that would probably be best.
Vicky now up over 140,000.
Quite a strange pot. This is not mine. I don't mind having it. No, I'm always glad to have a pen. I can do my Sudoku later.
Come on, Sudoku. You're gonna use that pen to underline your favorite parts of 50 Shades of Grey. Now you do a pen joke. Tweet them. Use the hashtag EPT.
So London served as the location for some of the greatest movies of all time. Classics like Clockwork Orange, The Omen, Blow Up.
You're forgetting one.
The Long Good Friday.
Nope.
Bridget Jones's Diary.
Come on, man. Shanghai Nights.
Jackie Chan film.
Jackie Chan. Kia! How are you doing that?
With considerable ease. Welcome back to the PokerStars.com EPT London main event, where Victoria Coren-Mitchell is back playing in her home city for the first time since becoming the first ever 2-time EPT champ.
When everyone was waiting to see who's going to be the first 2-time champion, they didn't think it would be me. I didn't think it would be me at all.
He has 12 outs, any other card on the river, and we have our first 2-time EPT champ.
The idea of having a record that can't be taken away, that's something you'll always have.
It's a brick! It's a brick! Vicky Coren has done it!
And maybe 20 years from now, people might still remember, who was that person that won too? Oh yeah, it was Coren.
Vicky remains one of the most popular players on the tour, and one of her admirers is about to take a seat at the feature table.
It's my dream
It was your dream?
to sit next to you.
What a lovely accent. Persian it must be. Persian?
Turkish.
Turkish, really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know how Persian that sounds?
Very Persian because it's close to next door.
Oh, that must be it. Gosh.
What do you want me to call you?
You can call me Turk, the famous Mad
He
Turk.
can't call you Turk.
That's Mad Turk. Nobody know me as a Yusel. Everybody know me as a Turk.
I'll call you Yusel.
Yes, call me Yusel.
James, when they say mad, do they mean cuckoo or
The first one. Yes, we know him as the Mad Turk, and he qualified online for just 215 quid.
What's happening, my friend?
It's actually around to you, sir.
I'm gonna raise
Is he excited over those queens or Vicky?
to 2,100. How are you anyway? You okay?
Very well, very well. Good luck.
Thank you, thank you.
Round to Mikhail Jean, who's in the small blind. With King-Queen suited.
Yeah, you could 3-bet this sometimes, especially when the chatty guy opens.
Your chance to play along in this hand coming up. Re-raise.
I will last one hand, I think.
I think he believes that. Cheer up, dude.
Well, I'd like to stay on TV if I can. How much is it?
86.
Okay. Give him one bet, only one bet.
Ah, should have shoved.
If I hit it, you'll know. If I don't hit it, you got it. I'm gone. 7 high flop, please, my friend.
Well, it's a king high flop with 2 spades.
Gross.
Jean continues with 97% equity. Gets a quick call from the Mad Turk.
John's gonna continue with pretty much his whole range, so queens can definitely call once.
Now he bets enough to put Eminoglu all in. What do you do here if you're the Mad Turk?
Victoria, I need help here.
I'm not allowed to advise, I'm afraid.
The only way he needs help is if his arms are broken and he can't push his own cards into the muck. And also can't say the word fold.
Well, I should have known you got ace king the way you bet on the flop.
It's a game.
Yeah, I know. I should have known. Will you show me your card? Because I'm just a newcomer to the table.
If you come, you will see my card.
If I come,
Yes.
I'm already here.
This guy.
Where else can I come? I just come to the table. Yeah, I'll fold that one, yeah. Whether you show me or not, it's up to you.
Had I been allowed to give advice, my advice would have been, that's a good fold.
Would have been a good fold on the flop, I think.
I would have said good fold.
Yeah, would have been a good fold on the flop, I think.
I don't.
I have 2 aces.
2 aces. Yeah, that's a good hand.
I'm just gonna let that hang there. I'm sorry, I can't 2 asses.
Let's check on some of the Brits with chips. Liv Barry's an above average stack right now. You'll be pleased to know that last year's EPT London qualifier, Leo McLean, is back for more. Max Silver narrowly missed out on a seat at the PCA final table this year.
Somebody call Kenny Loggins because he is in the danger zone.
And Willie Tan is a legend, practically the mascot of British poker.
In Europe, London might be where there's the most poker action.
The capital of poker in Europe has to be London.
It's London.
I would say London.
London. It's a beautiful city. I love to play here.
London, my hometown.
Playing an EPT in London is always like a bit more royal.
The atmosphere here in London is brilliant. Obviously, it's great to be here on my home turf.
It's a great place to live, and I had a lot of like other poker friends that wanted to live here also. I love to live in London.
Poker's huge in the UK. We have a load of very, very good players.
You get a really tough field. You get to play against the best, which is kind of cool. It's annoying too.
It's a unique main event. It's interesting when you play against guys that you don't really know, but they're actually really good.
I'm not surprised at all that the Brits are doing well. We've got some fantastic players in our midst. Hopefully one of us will win.
But if you don't, maybe you can all chase each other around the room Benny Hill style.
335 players remain. Ace-Jack for Vicky on the feature table. And this looks like an under-the-gun raise to 1,600. Action. Folded around to the Sean Connery lookalike. Greetings, Highlander.
Nice.
5-4 suited for Nicolas Schwiti on the button.
Yeah, sure. 5-4 suited, definitely good enough for a poke.
He calls. Jens Obain in the small blind. Passes. The Mad Turk's in the big. He calls.
That's also cool.
That's the sort of monster stack on the button tool down there. Excellent. Exactly as I hoped.
So 3-way to the flop. And Schwiti flops a straight.
But check to the razor.
Yes, I as the raiser, I must bet.
In the flop like that.
Probably any flop I would have bet. I can imagine a couple I wouldn't have done, but that's not one of them. I'm going to make it 27.
Wow.
This does qualify as any flop.
It's a bet of 2,700. Schwiti is sitting there with the nuts. So how is he going to respond to Vicky's continuation bet?
I think calling here is fine. I think raising, also cool. When you don't raise and it comes 8-9, you hate yourself.
Looks like a raise. He makes it 6,800 total and gets 2 quick folds.
You just give some tips, like you're gonna bet any flop and...
I know.
You
It's a common problem I have at the table. I often explain my thinking.
Okay.
And if pressed, I'll tell you what my cards are, which can be a huge disadvantage. Although weirdly, sometimes it isn't one. You'd be amazed how often it isn't a problem.
How do you win then?
I don't know. People must wonder.
Then I have to ask you every time.
Yeah. I'll try not to answer, but you know, it's a weakness I have.
Yeah, if you count being ridiculously charming as a weakness, right?
Out in the field, Elke's in a hand against Yanis Konstanatsios.
There he is, the born and bred Londoner. Elke's so London, he's gonna go to 4th Street on the left side of the road.
Elke facing a bet of 3,500. He calls. King 5-3 on the flop, a deuce on the turn.
9.
Konstanatsios bets 9,000.
Elke does have a Londoner's complexion.
He folds.
Came here today on a double-decker spaceship.
Still playing a 6-figure stack. More out-of-table action, with Liv Boeri raising from the cutoff. Action on Anna Marquez in the small blind. She 3-bets. Liv calls in position.
Check out Sam Chartier. He's all like, yeah, cat fight.
King high flop. Anna shoves. And Liv folds.
Nah, Sam.
Well, Liv's playing around the tournament average right now. There are plenty of Brits with decent stacks, including Vicky and John Gale. That's a blast from the past. Remember him?
He's a hugger.
Meanwhile, over at the secondary feature table, the Table of Doom, we're going heads up to the flop. Dominic Panka open with jacks. Theo Jorgensen has called the raise in the small blind with ace-5 suited. A 10-high flop.
When you have jacks and no overcards hit the flop, how do you not just fist pump yourself out of the room?
Theo playing in flow. Dominic set to continue. He bets 2,500. And Theo check raises to 7.5K.
Well, that's a weird check raise. Theo cannot have many value hands here. Dominic would float this pretty wide, I'd say.
He calls. And Theo pairs his ace on the turn. Now he checks.
Dominic may realize that ace could hit him a lot.
He checks behind. Board pairs on the river.
Theo might think it's safe to value bet.
11,000.
It would be a weird bluff. But I'm not gonna speak to you now. You're just gonna confuse me with any answer again.
I'm known for making very weird bluffs.
Story checks out.
That's probably that and tying my shoelaces are probably the 2 things I'm best at.
Show him the Velcro shoes.
Let's just say if you re-raise me now, I'm going to be confused.
Decision time for Panka.
It's 11, right?
I think Dominic is way too good to call here. That's what I think. Theo would have to have a total air ball, and he probably doesn't check back an air ball on the turn.
Dominic folds.
Show the bluff.
Please?
So sick, you're so good.
Theo showed the 5.
Why did I have a feeling you were really gonna like that one?
It works though.
The Jorganism.
Jorganisms? I think there's a special shampoo for that.
Or you could play against former champs and team pros. You can qualify for an EPT main event at PokerStars.com.
You know, I think Kenneth Branagh lives down here.
Who?
Kenneth Branagh? Actor, director. He's done tons of Shakespeare, Hamlet, Much Ado About Nothing.
Never heard of him.
He directed Thor.
Ooh, Thor? I like Thor. The book was better, though.
It's day 2 of the PokerStars.com EPT London main event, with 327 players remaining. The field is still full of top British players, team pros, and former EPT winners. But we've just lost one of those former champs. The reigning EPT London title holder is out.
Sweet jacket, though. At least he'll be on time for the pep rally.
Well, this year's winner is going to receive just shy of £500,000. A min cash in the EPT London main event worth $7,750. Time to play along with the pros again by downloading our Poker Play Along app. What are you prepared to do? It's actually Yanis Mandlinakis from Greece. He's raised with King Jack. The Mad Turk calls on the button. Vicky calls in the small blind. Asif Raja calls in the big blind.
Everybody calls.
4-way to the flop. So Vicky pairs her 4, and she has a wheel draw. The Mad Turk is still ahead with 7s.
Thank God you're here. I can't keep up with any of this.
Action's been checked to Emanoglu. And it looks like he's betting.
Keep betting more.
Yeah, just in case some draws there, you know.
Checks out.
I want to make it a bit expensive for the draw.
No, I see you're thinking. Very wise.
You don't see what I'm thinking. I've got more thinking in my mind.
Oh dear.
Would you like to know them?
Yes.
I'll tell you in a minute.
All right, go on. Let's see what happens later in the hand. You never know.
Is there a raise call?
That's just a call. It's just a call.
Just a call.
Just a call.
Heads up to the turn.
And every time I see an attractive lady, there's so much things come to my mind.
I'll definitely check.
The Queen hasn't changed anything.
That's in my mind. That's one of in my mind.
That's one of the things. 5,300 points.
Yes.
Okay.
And I have a lot of other things in my mind that which
I dread to think.
I can't explain at the moment. So exciting. It's all including you, do.
Good. At least that's not at all sinister. That's the main thing.
No, it was always my dream actually about you, you know. Honest, I always fancied you. I don't know why.
Oh, you don't know why? You old smooth talker.
No, I do know why, but I just, you know, you got married, and I still fancy you. I don't know. Just can't
It's
help
inexplicable. It is absolutely.
It's still in my mind.
It's
in there.
inexplicable. All right, go on. You talked me out of it.
Yeah.
Well done.
Good girl. Thank you. I've got a hand anyway.
I believe you.
Yeah, definitely.
I had a
Split
pair.
it.
No
I
good?
wouldn't ever do that. How big is it? I had an ace. So
I
you
couldn't
can't
beat
win.
an ace.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't beat an ace.
She was getting a pretty good price.
By the way, when you won the second one,
Yeah.
I was really proud. As
Thank
a British, as a lady, for you to win.
Thank you.
Because people always think
Yeah.
that lady is not as good,
I know.
as
They
good as the man.
didn't think I would win.
No. But you didn't think either, I bet.
I didn't really, no.
You know what? I like the Mad Turk. Let's make him our online qualifier.
My name is Yücel Ebinoglu. I'm 52 years old. I live in Birmingham. and I have a small business which is like a coffee shop. My nickname is Mad Turk.
Everybody know me as a Turk, the famous Matt
He
Turk.
can't call you Turk.
That's Matt Turk.
I started playing poker about 2005 by watching on the TV. And I thought, well, I could do that.
If I hit it, you'll know. If I don't hit it, you got it.
I love to play poker with a banter.
See, you're thinking. Very wise.
You don't see what I'm thinking. I've got more thinking in my mind.
Oh dear.
I can't stand with the hoodies and glasses and earphones and wait there. No, I like to have a fun.
Will you show me your card?
If you come, you will see my card.
If I come?
Yes.
I'm already here.
I play a game that it's not in the books. Whoever comes to my table, I have no fear. If I think I'm winning, I put it in.
Keep adding more.
Yeah, just in case some draws there, you know. I enjoy big competitions. If I can satellite. For the small amount of money, satellite into a big competition, which I did, I think this is the goal, to win a big. If I win this tournament, it will definitely be life-changing. Hopefully, I'm going to hit one of them, and I will retire from the coffee shop.
I wonder if his coffee shop is called You Sell Coffee? You know, because his name is You Sell. I don't even know why I bother with this stuff.
Over to the secondary feature table. Blinds are now 500 and 1,000. Swiminathan has raised with nines. Actions on Theo Jorgensen in the big blind. We can only see one of his cards, the 7 of spades. He calls.
I can only assume the other card's a good one.
Well, it's a clubby flop. Swiminathan has a straight flush draw to go with his pair of nines.
It is the dummy end, though.
Action's been checked to him.
2,500.
He continues.
That's not the voice I was expecting to come out of that guy.
Theo calls. Well, Theo has at least a pair of sevens now.
Probably a 7 and a draw would be my guess.
Checks a second time.
5,100.
Swiminathan, an online qualifier playing in his first ever EPT, bets again.
Pretty dicey board for just bottom pair. And if his other card isn't a big club, he's probably not sticking around.
He folds.
See, playing against a pro got me so nervous that I thought this was a 100 chip. See what I mean? You're probably wondering why would he bet 5,100 when I have a bunch of hundreds over here.
I wasn't even close to thinking about that.
Oh, really?
What are you thinking about that, sir?
No?
I was more thinking about, should I really call him with my hand here? Maybe I should raise it.
And I guess that's why you're a pro and I'm not, right?
I got a little red devil standing here on my shoulder whispering to me.
Whisper.
He's got nothing.
Nothing.
Theo's a pro?
Well, let's check in on some other members of Team Pro. Eugene Kachalov playing a below-average stack right now. Mike Haxton's got 45 big blinds. Jay Cody's faring well on day 2, up to 90,000 now. And Fatima is around average. Meanwhile, across the room...
Oh, I've seen this trick before at the Magic Castle. The woman's not really sawed in half. It's a pair of fake... Oh.
Sorry, Anna Marquez.
I was hiding for a reason.
Like we weren't gonna film that.
4 notable names with 6-figure stacks right now. Elke, Johnny Lodden, Theo Jorgensen, and Victoria Corin Mitchell. Well, let's head back to the main feature table. Blinds are still 500 and 1,000, and Vicky is going to be first to speak on this next hand. And you'll notice there's a new player at the table sitting to Vicky's left.
I'm sure his barber is very proud.
Aces under the gun. Vicky raises.
Victoria Corin Mitchell, you are aces.
And 2,200 or more if you want to keep those cards.
Mikhail Petrov is the new player at the table. He folds. Dilling, Harvesto, Jean, all fold. Mandlinakis with ace-8. Nah, he passes.
Hey, he's getting a little flirt in there too, yeah, get some.
Round to O'Bain in the small blind, 7-8 suited. Looks like he's calling.
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep those cards as well.
You think so, huh?
Yeah.
Two non-believers.
Two dudes with fun hands.
Three-way to the flop. And a decent flop for the Mad Turk.
Go on, Victoria. You can bet.
Since you invite me so nicely...
You can do your C-bet now.
I will. C-bet is in.
O'Baina's folded. The Mad Turk's got a pair and a flush draw.
So basically, he's all, come at me, bro.
Huh?
Or sis.
I'll check again, Victoria, whatever
Okay.
comes.
I need to see what... I'll probably bet,
I know
but
you're
I
going
need
to
to...
bet anyway, so I'm just going to let you hang yourself.
I would bet most cards, whether to
But
bet
not
that
now,
one.
not on this one.
I will bet anyway, but not too much, just in case. 45.
He's made his flush.
Well, I have something, Victoria.
You do?
I'm going to make it 11,000. Just enough for her to fold.
Like it?
I don't know if that is enough
Just
for me to
enough
fold.
for you to fold your card, Victoria.
She calls, she's gonna feel committed on the river anyway.
That was a good turn for me.
You know what?
Fold.
I think we have to put it all in.
Oh my God, Victoria.
Great move if people ever folded small flushes.
It could be a horrible situation. I realize that.
Well, you got a flush as well.
If I tell you, it kind of spoils it, but
It depends how big is your flush.
I feel I can't help you anymore.
Well, I have a feeling you're bluffing me here.
Do you?
What do you think I have?
I think you might have a small flush. I think it's more likely you've got 10 jack.
So 10 jack doesn't worry you, and small flush doesn't worry you.
To be honest, my chips are in. Nothing worries me.
Okay, put a blank there, please.
He calls.
You got 10 jack?
No, I got a small flush.
You got a small flush. Well, you're ahead at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Vicky has a redraw to the nut flush.
Please, dealer, one time. She won enough money. I haven't won nothing.
She's a better player.
Burn.
She's a better player, yeah, you're right. I would be good if I win this hand. Or pair the board. Deuce, no, deuce. Yes!
Nice
now
hand.
back in the game now, Ben.
Nice hand.
Thank you, unlucky.
Yes. More like the happy Turk.
Wow. Now I can be better player now. 7, yeah? Okay. Unlucky. I think I had to play the hand.
Oh, yes, you
I
made
was
a flush. It would have been difficult for you to fold.
Pre-flop, I was priced.
Well,
and it was
pre-flop, you certainly
yeah.
can't fold. I mean,
Yeah,
you
it
have
was
a monster
it was
like
a
that
dream.
is
It was a dream flop as well. Unlucky
plays
there.
itself.
Yeah, unlucky. Yeah. Back in the game now.
What's the name of that really brutal movie with Clive Owen and Julia Roberts takes place in the London Aquarium?
Closer.
What's the name of that really brutal movie with Clive Owen and Julia Roberts takes place in the London Aquarium?
I hate you.
No, that wasn't it.
Now the PokerStars.com European Poker Tour is in its 2nd century. We thought we'd try to help you learn all about it from the people who play in it. We call it EPT 101.
The European Poker Tour is the biggest tour in the world. There's normally between 6 and 8 events throughout the year.
The EPT is like where all the big players come to play, and the newer players want to see how good they are.
It's such a good competition. You get fired up.
Well, EPT is definitely the most prestigious poker tour in Europe.
The founder of the EPT was Big Daddy, John Duffy.
I play with him a lot in Las Vegas, actually. He's a great guy.
John was one of the first people I met in poker. He's brilliant. He's funny, he's very smart. He created this wonderful thing.
Yeah, we're all very thankful to him now.
Thanks, John.
Wow.
EPTs are my favorite events. You're always going to be in an awesome city.
I think there's 24 cities that have hosted it in the EPT. The EPT is some of the greatest cities in the world, mainly.
There's always just so much to do, and it's just an excuse to go out and travel.
Including this event, I think probably London has hosted the most EPTs.
Barcelona and London have hosted the most EPTs.
What do you mean we're not allowed to sleep with the students at this university? This place is a prison.
Seat open at Livbury's table. She's just eliminated a player.
The Bory giveth and the Bory taketh away.
Huh?
Always have them dead.
Well, lucky day.
No sweat. No sweat. Men perspire, women glow. I read that in the magazine.
Nice. Really nice.
Look, Anna just ran a 5K.
Back to the action at our main feature table. Very soon there'll be a chance for you to play along. We sail into history.
It gets me every time.
King 10 for Nicola Schwiti. He raises to 2,200.
I think you insulted me saying that she was better player than me. So I'm gonna play a pot with you. You don't even know who I am. Okay.
He is the Mad Turk.
I'm happy.
Yeah, you're happy. The fish is in the pole.
Hopefully there's no chlorine in the pole.
Top pair for Schwiti. Gut shot for our qualifier.
Standard continuation situation.
2,500. How does the Mad Turk respond?
You go over 120 around there?
180. 80.
He could call once. Lots of good cards he can hit on the turn. He should probably fold, though.
Okay, you win.
He does fold.
And that's why you don't play a pot against a guy just because he doesn't know who you are.
Our qualifier. Still playing around 104,000. And we're heading over to the secondary feature table. Theo Jorgensen raised the button. Benny Spindler 3-bet from the small blind. Theo's called, heads up to the flop, which brings top pair for Theo and a wheel draw for Benny.
Not the worst flop for ace-5.
He doesn't continue. Theo checks behind.
Huh. Seems like a board you would barrel after 3-betting pre-flop.
7 on the turn.
Benny's double-gutted, like that guy who walks around with Quato in Total Recall.
Delayed C-bet.
Go drive, go!
Theo, with the best hand, calls the 8,000. The river card is a deuce. Benny gets there.
And it's fairly well disguised.
Going for value.
I call.
Snap call.
I do appreciate a good snap call. But Theo's not going to appreciate that.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who thinks Benny Spindler looks a lot like the lady doctor from the last few seasons of Dexter? Okay.
Fewer than 300 players remaining in the EPT London main event. Back on the main stage, Nicola Schwiti has Jack 7 of clubs under the gun +1.
Come on, dude, play your rush.
22.
He raises. Ace King for Jens O'Bain.
They're both in early position, but a 3-bet here is fine.
That is a re-raise to 6,500.
You could maybe size this a little bigger considering how deep the two of them are.
So what's Vicky gonna do here with 7s?
It all depends on O'Bainy one Kenobi over there. If he 3-bets a lot, she could 4-bet. You don't want to just call in this spot and then have to fold when someone else decides they want to 4-bet.
She re-raises to 17,000.
This Petrov kid reminds me I cannot wait for the new Mad Max movie.
Queen's alert.
You started with how much?
Me? 70? 70 and that much.
Fried Illing. But seriously though, he should 5-bet.
He makes it 31,000.
And that should be an easy fold for pretty much everyone else.
A look of pain from O'Bain.
Well, this spot's super gross.
How much is it? 125.
I'll say this, I don't mind a fold here at all. Dilling's range is gonna be pretty narrow here, and he's got very nearly the bottom of it.
And the Belgian still has Vicky to act behind him.
Belgian? That explains all the waffling. He can't believe he's thinking about folding ace-king.
You sure he's gonna fold?
Yes.
Nice hand. No play acting for me. On with the next one.
To be fair, Bain had a genuine decision there.
He's making faces like he's trying to suggest he thinks you are. What do you think he had? He always had the best hand. You were never calling.
He had a mullen.
He had a mullen?
People are so skeptical. They watch too much TV, I think.
Speaking of which, I think Vicky has shows on tonight at 8 and 11.
She's now lost 2 big hands in a row. To the outer tables, where Anna Marquez has moved all in, and the decision is on Liv Boeree.
Liv may be wondering why Anna would overbet shove the turn if she had the nuts or near nuts, so it's possible we could see Liv call it off with less than.
Liv calls. Anna has a set of queens. Liv, king high flush.
Sort of a top set full house semi-bluff.
9 outs for Anna. But she doesn't hit on the river.
Sorry, guys.
Anna Marquez is eliminated. And with that hand, Liv Boeree will take the tournament chip lead.
Live and let live.
Midway through day 2, former champs are faring well. Elke's a top 10 stack. Nicola Schweety and Jake Cody are both in the top 5. And Liv Boeree tops the leaderboard with a stack of 240,000. 240 big blinds.
Came in today with around 100. Got off to a little rocky start, went down to about 65, but yeah, spun it back up. Yeah, went on quite a tear, busted a bunch of people. Just kept hitting huge hands and either had people bluffing into me or you know, I called it a couple of people as well. So couldn't ask for more. It's nice to be doing it here in London.
Next time, the Brits take control as we get closer to the money.
Get in there, man. I've never played in front of cameras before.
Really?
Yeah, this is a big occasion to me.
And the $22 million man, Dan Coleman, takes on Theo Jorgensen at the feature table.
All in. I call. I need to stand up as well now. Pretend that's it. I'm done.